If you're an author who considers yourself an introvert, the idea of having to talk about your book nonstop probably doesn't sound like fun. But you know something? You can make it enjoyable and boost your book sales by leaps and bounds as long as you are prepared. Hi there, if you're new to my channel, I'm Susan Saravo, and I provide expert media training based on my experience as a communications professional and TV reporter and anchor. Think about the digital age we're living in right now. One viral clip can sell more books than a full page ad in the New York Times these days. On the flip side, one cringe, rambling answer on morning TV can tank your launch before breakfast. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why every author, fiction, nonfiction, indie, Big Five, debut, or veteran needs media training now more than ever. Even if you hate being on camera, even if you're shy, even if interviews make you feel like a ball of nerves. Here's the thing, you will end up doing interviews, and with the right tools, you can be incredible at them. Let's start with the truth. Most published books sell fewer than 5,000 copies in their entire lifetime. It's a sad reality when authors spend years of their life dedicated to bringing incredible stories and information to their audience. What has become a major predictor of whether a book breaks out from the crowd isn't as much about the writing, the cover, or even the publisher. It's how shareable the author is on video and audio. It really matters. Publishers now ask debut authors how many views their TikToks get and whether they're comfortable being interviewed on podcasts. And self-published authors who get at least 5 podcast bookings during launch month can outsell authors with 0 bookings by 8 to 12 times. The reason is simple. With fewer bookstores, traditional reviews are having less of an impact, and online algorithms reward authors who drive outside traffic, especially from video and audio podcasts. You know, when you hear about a book on social media and you click through to Amazon, the algorithm is rewarding the author for those click-throughs. Your ability to perform when someone hits record is part of the entire product. And here's the twist for introverted authors. You don't have to be loud or flashy or extroverted. You just have to be prepared. Introverted, camera-shy authors are held to the same standard to book promotion as extroverted authors are. And if you freeze, ramble, or panic in any one of them, your book pays the price. Let's talk about 6 different promotional situations where media training is really going to help you. First, podcasts. They're the new book tour. A host could ask, "Tell us about your book in 1 minute." Most authors would ramble on for 5. A media trained author can do it in 27 seconds, clean, compelling, and shareable. Second, the viral clip moment. One sentence gets clipped and shared hundreds of thousands of times. Third, live events and festivals. You're on stage in front of hundreds of people and everybody's holding a phone. One awkward joke can get you canceled on Book Talk overnight. Fourth, TV and radio. Morning shows, BBC, NPR, they can still move 10,000 books in a single day if you're good, and 0 if you're a little boring. Fifth, your own social media. At some point, you'll post a video saying, "My book is out." And if you look nervous, people might just keep scrolling. If you sound confident and grounded, which introverts do naturally when prepared, they pre-order. And sixth, crisis or controversy. Someone misinterprets a sentence in your book, a journalist messages you for comment, and you have 30 minutes to respond before the internet decides for you. Authors can lose 6-figure advances because they mishandled a moment like this. Unknown authors land movie deals because they nailed their viral moment. And here's the secret. Introverts often outperform extroverts once they have structure and know what they're doing. Author James Clear was all over the podcast circuit for Atomic Habits when that was published. When he explained his 1% better concept, who wouldn't buy into that?
One way to think about it is just kind of basic math. Like if you just look at the numbers, if you were able to improve by 1% each day for an entire year, and those gains compound, you would end up 37 times better at the end of the year.
Author Mel Robbins' 5-second rule put her on the map, and the simplicity was so easy and memorable, anyone could do it. She introduced it in a speaking engagement, and it just took off.
There is a 5-second window between the moment that your inner wisdom tells you you need to speak up, you need to get to the gym, you need to say something, you need to get to work, and your mind killing it. And if you start counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you can close the gap between the greatness in you that's dying to come to the surface and the excuses that keep snuffing it down.
You may not be aspiring to become as famous as those two authors, but you do want to sell books, right? So being memorable with concise, easy to remember thoughts is extremely important to reach your niche audience. What's important to note for introverts is that planning what you're going to say and how you're going to say it well in advance can give you an edge. Oftentimes, when introverts have to be out in a crowd, they have to have a lot of interaction with people and they have to be on and smiling. It can really drain your energy quickly. And then you start to hit that mode where you're just kind of flat and you're just looking at your watch, counting the minutes until you don't have to be there any longer because it's just a lot for you to take in as an introvert. When you get your energy from being alone and being quiet, being out in these crowds can deplete your energy so much. But the reality is, you have to do those kinds of things to get buzz about the book, to get book sales. You have to be out with people and you have to be talking and promoting your book. So think about how important it is and how much it can help you to be well prepared before you hit the road or turn on the microphone or turn on the camera. Know exactly what you want to say, the stories you want to tell, the lines that you know are going to land, and do it with confidence. Here's what media training actually does for introverted authors. First, it helps you craft a 30-second pitch that feels authentic, not salesy, not fake, not hyped, just you. Second, it gives you structure so you can talk about your book for 30 seconds or 30 minutes without rambling or spiraling. Third, it gives you safe, confident answers for personal or controversial questions like, why did you kill off that character? Or how much money do you make? Yeah, people do ask those kinds of questions. Fourth, it gives you an on-camera confidence without changing who you are. You don't suddenly turn into a performer. You simply look like your calm, thoughtful, intelligent self on purpose. And finally, it helps you create a library of sound bites. Now, this is key. They're short, memorable lines that position you as the expert and make your interviews clippable and shareable. And here's something most people don't realize. Introverts are often better at sound bites because you're naturally concise thinkers. If you're writing a book right now or dreaming of writing one, don't wait until publication date to figure this out. The authors who are winning these days start practicing their sound bites back when they're still on draft 2 or 3. So here's your action step. I want you to give this a try. Open your phone, hit record, and answer this question in one take. If someone only remembers one thing from my book, I want it to be, answer that. Do it 10 times. Get it under 20 seconds. Say it until it feels like you. And if it gives you chills, you nailed it. Post it anywhere. Reels, TikTok, LinkedIn, and tag me. I'll give you free feedback in the comments. If you want more insider tips for mastering media interviews and delivering messages that stick, you can book a strategy call with me. The link is below. And I'll see you in the next video.